What's going on, guys? MMuniz here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss the best place to keep your money in 2022. Now, I'm talking short term, and you need to be able to access it. We want low risk or no risk, and we want to have some kind of return on our investment or savings. Do we have any options? Well, yes, we do. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. But first things first, one thing to remember is this video is not financial advice. It is just my opinions. It's up to you guys to do your own research and determine what's best for you and your family. So with that being said, what are our options? Well, we have quite a few. I mean, you could start with just keeping your money at home under your pillow, which is crazy because inflation is extremely high in 2022, but that is an option. You could also keep your money in a checking or savings account, traditional brick and mortar bank like Chase or Wells Fargo. Nothing wrong with those. However, you're going to be getting really close to a 0% return on your money. So why keep your money there when you can make a higher return and still have those same benefits of a bank? We also have CDs or certificate of deposits. Now a CD is going to offer you a higher return, but you're locking your money up for a set amount of time. So maybe you do a 12-month CD or an 18-month CD or a 3-year CD. Those are all options, but I typically would recommend not to do those because in a fluctuating rate environment, you might find better opportunities with something like a high yield savings account in the future. So if the Federal Reserve continues to raise rates due to inflation, then high yield savings accounts are going to have higher returns as well. So a CD and getting locked into a certain return might not be your best option, but it is safe and it is going to offer you some return. You have money market accounts, which are kind of like a hybrid between a savings and a checking account. You're going to be able to have checks. You're going to get some form of return, but typically you're going to have high minimums. You're going to have a little bit of fine print in there, and I tend to stay away from these. But now the last option, and my personal favorite, for holding your money in the short term with zero risk, as long as you go FDIC insured up to a set amount, and that's going to be your high yield savings account. So I'm going to give you guys 3 bank accounts. 2 of them I currently use, and the 3rd I plan on using in the future. I'm going to tell you why I like these, what they offer, and how they can benefit you guys. One little quick note before I start breaking them down is I am not sponsored by any of these companies. I just like the company. I like what they offer, and I want people to be able to take advantage of it. I was at dinner a couple months ago, and some people were talking to me. They're like, yeah, I just keep my money in Chase, and that's my savings account. And they told me they were keeping a lot of money in that savings account. I'm like, why would you keep it there? You could be getting paid hundreds of dollars a month just by using a high yield savings account. We're not even talking about investing. And they're like, I've never heard of that. That's why we need to make this video. So let's take a look at the first one. My personal favorite, which is Ally Bank. So when it comes to Ally Bank, what makes them so good? Well, they're personally my favorite, and they are 100% online. And the thing is even though I can't go to a physical location, I've never had any issues with them. They have a plethora of banking options, so you can do checking accounts, high yield savings accounts, investing accounts, loans. There's all sorts of stuff you can take advantage of. I personally only use their high yield savings account because I'm just looking for a safe place to keep my money and get easy money or an easy return. So what is that return? Well, with Ally, you're going to get a 3% APY right now today in November of 2022. This is subject to change, but it is compounded daily. So what is 3% return? Well, when we compare it to a 0.01% of Chase or 0.01% of Wells Fargo, it's pretty crazy to think about. $10,000 in your Ally savings account is going to pay you out $25 at the end of the month or $300 at the end of the year. But it is compounded daily, which is even better. What monthly maintenance fees do we have? We don't have any. Do we have a minimum opening deposit? Nope. If you want to take a look at their fees, you're going to have to break it down, but they're very clear and concise about what you don't pay for and what you do. For me, I never have to worry about any of this, so it's really easy. Now, Ally does have some features that I take advantage of, such as mobile deposits, but a lot of banks offer that. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. I will say that when it comes to their mobile app, the user interface is extremely user-friendly, and I've just never had issues. I collect my check every month, and I go to sleep, I wake up, and I have more money. And I want you guys to have that too. It's the greatest feeling. So now the second bank account we're going to talk about, and this is another one that I take advantage of, is going to be the Capital One Banking. Once again, they're going to offer you high yield savings accounts, and they also offer you checking accounts. Now, the great thing about this bank is I personally really like the app again. I think it's really important when a company in today's day and age has a user-friendly interface that anybody can use. Whether you are 70 years old or you are 15 years old, we should be able to navigate our banking apps without any issues. Now, they're going to offer a lot of the same things, mobile deposit. You're going to be able to do automated savings. You're going to have a debit card, access to all that kind of stuff. When it comes to fees, there's no monthly fees, no minimums, no nonsense. That's great. That is what we need. I still bank with Chase, and I still have a minimum daily balance that I have to have. I have to transfer a certain amount of money to my savings account every month. There's all these things that I need to do. Now, luckily, it's all automated, but what if one day I decide to change something and I start paying fees? I'm going to get really annoyed. Now, one thing I will point out is a lot of these companies, Ally has it as well, they'll point out their fee-free ATMs. And that just depends on where you are. Only certain ATMs are going to be free, so just make sure you look around and pay attention to that stuff. Now, even though there's no actual banks for Capital One, they do have Capital One cafes. I've never gone and visited one, but I did hear that you can get coffee there, which sounds pretty nice to me. So let's take a look. What is our return on these when it comes to savings? Are we going to make money? Well, if you're doing checking, it's going to be really low, but 0.1 is better than 0. And honestly, 0.1 is actually better than your average Chase savings account. But we actually need to make some money. So 3% return, which is going to be the exact same as Ally and pretty similar offerings with their 360 performance savings. So once again, if you don't like Ally, then try out Capital One. Put $10,000 in, get your $300 a year. You're going to be making money doing nothing with no risk. FDIC insured, win-win. I do want to quickly touch on CDs. Now, Ally offers these as well, but since this is on the webpage, right here, you can get a 4% return here for a 12-month CD. Honestly, that's not that bad. That's a good option because we really don't know if the rates are going to increase for a whole year to bring our high-yield savings accounts up to 4%. So this is debatable. Maybe this is something we should take advantage of. Personally, I won't, but that is an option. Now, if we go down to like 60 months, we're going to do a 5-year CD, 4.25%. To me, that's not worth it. To tie up your money for 5 years for that rate, I think you can get way better returns out of the stock market. I think you can get way better returns out of pretty much anything other than, keeping your money under your pillow. So long term like that, not a fan. But once again, when it comes to Capital One, they just have an awesome app, easy banking, easy sign up, and just no strings attached. There's not much to manage. Now, the last one we're going to talk about, and this is one that I haven't done yet, but I have been waiting to sign up for, and that's just because I'm waiting for the right sign-up bonus, is SOFI. So SOFI actually offers sign-up bonuses for you to sign up for their bank account. And this one's a little bit different because when you sign up for their bank account, you're actually going to get a checking and a savings account combined. And you can see right here on their advertisement, you're going to get a 3% APY, which matches those other two we just talked about. You can get the same exact thing with the get paid up to 2 days early, which to me doesn't really matter. But no account fees, no overdraft fees, and then you get that sign-up bonus. I've seen higher than $250 sign-up bonus, so I'm waiting until I see a higher one again. Now, I do know that I think I could get technically referrals for this, but since I don't use the company, I'm not going to refer you guys because I really don't have the experience. I know. All I'm letting you know is I have done a little bit of research on the company, and it is something that I'm going to try in the near future. So if you guys want to do your research, check them out. One other thing I want to point out real quick is there's a little 1 here. So, that's basically saying you have to do something to get that 3%, and that is you need to have direct deposit set up. So if you don't have direct deposit, you're actually only going to get a 1.2% APY. So direct deposit is going to be needed for your SOFI account. Otherwise, you're not going to get this big return. Now, SOFI has a lot of really cool tech-forward things that they offer that I'm not going to explain in this video, but if you just YouTube SOFI Banking, you're going to see a lot of finance guys that talk about SOFI, and it's actually really interesting. So do some research. Check it out. See if it's for you. It's definitely going to be something I sign up for in the future. All right, guys, now that we've gone through a lot of our options, I do want to add one more. So you could technically buy I-bonds. And if you want to know what those are, they're basically bonds that protect you from inflation. If you want a detailed description, see the link in the description below. I do a video just on I-bonds. However, with the environment we're currently in, where inflation seems to be slowly decreasing, I don't think I-bonds are going to be a good fit long term. If you didn't get to take advantage of the 9.62% return that they offered a couple months ago, then now might not be the time to get into those. Now, with that being said, when it comes to any form of banking, you need to make sure you're doing your research and reading the fine print. Another thing I'll point out about the SOFI sign-up offer is when it comes to that offer, in order for you to get that full amount, you actually have to have a certain dollar amount for direct deposits. If you have $1,000 or less in terms of the direct deposit, you're only going to get a $50 sign-up bonus. If you have between $1,000 and $5,000, then you're going to get a higher amount. So just keep in mind that you want to make sure that you're really educating yourself on what you're signing up for. If you're like me and you just want basic returns, you want your monthly interest payments, Go with Ally. It's really easy. Get paid to sleep, a good return, and save money. Now, with that being said, I want to know from you guys in the comments below, what do you think are the best options for someone to keep their money today? Do you agree with me? Disagree? I do my best to respond to every single comment on all my videos. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you guys in next week's video. Thank you and take care.